On a job that I hate.
Bingo. Maybe I should live in the Hudson Valley. I could still get to New York. I could be on Zoom all day.
Right.
But my cost of living is way down. Mm-hmm. And this goes back to what this gentleman said. I'm worried about who are you trying to impress.
Yep, exactly.
Because once you stop trying to impress anyone and you start talking to yourself, which is something that starts to normally happen at your age group, not theirs.
Yeah.
I'm trying to bring your wisdom down to them.
Yeah.
Because boy, oh boy, could you imagine if you knew all the lessons you now know at 25?
Yeah, back then.
Right? So, right?
Yeah.
So to me, I think I got a little lucky. You know, it's funny. This is very, very special moment for me. I know my mom is going to smile when she watches this. I was born in the Soviet Union, in the USSR.
Okay.
I immigrated here when I was 3. I lived in Queens in Rego Park. Right. We were very poor. I lived in a studio apartment with 5, 6, 7, depending how relatives were coming over from the old country.
Oh, wow.
So very humble beginnings. And one of the earliest stories that I was told about myself is really very meta and apropos to this exact second. Even at 4 and 3 years old, when I would go outside, as a 3 to 4 year old, I would gravitate and run over and sit with 70, 80, 90-year-olds and talk to them.
Wow.
I would not go play with children. I would go and sit. And it was just kind of the story that my mom would always tell me about me. I thought it was interesting. Yeah. And it went into my 8, 9, 10 years old when I moved to Edison, New Jersey, and grandparents would come from Florida for my friends in the neighborhood. I would always be like, tell me what you were doing when JFK died, and how did NASA happen, and World War II. I was fascinated, or I was always drawn to it. And then I forgot about it for 30 years, 20 years. It was just a thing I did when I was a kid, never thought about it in my teenage years, never in my 20s, never in my 30s. As I started to get more publicly popular and make content, and I started seeing the words coming out of my mouth were more grounded in wisdom and simplicity, I started realizing, wait a minute, this is why I hung out with y'all. Yeah. I'm drawn to it. This is why this is the most excited about doing a podcast I've been in years. I'm drawn to this. This is it. This is the conversation. What you are doing, what you are all doing, is one of the most important things. We must find a way to make popular culture. We must get back to not dismissing our grandparents, not making fun of them because they don't know how to use the latest technology. No, sitting down and fucking listening to them because they actually know shit. Right. Not taking everything that they, there's plenty of dopey 80-year-olds that don't get it.
Yeah. A lot of angry ones too.
Yes.
That's right. Here's why. I love that you said that, my friend. Yeah. Do you know that I live my entire life based on one premise: to not have resentment.
Yes.
To not resent. And do you know how you not resent? You don't have these issues where you ponder what could have been.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want, I live my life based on, will I regret this when I'm 80? The reason so many people are angry is because they didn't live the life that they wish they did.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right? They regretted their choices. And where they really get upset, and please confirm this and please feel free to jump in, is when they didn't die on their own sword. Meaning, something shitty happened and it wasn't even their own choice. Their mom made them marry that guy. Right? The real stuff. Listen,
or
we're talking
over the family
business. They took over and they didn't want. They wanted to be a painter, or they were too scared to leave that job. After 3 years, they knew that they didn't like working at Ford, and they worked there for 45 years because they were scared. All because they didn't want to live in a smaller house than their brother and sister.
I know.
It's humility. The thing that nobody has enough of is humility. If you have humility, then you're not scared of judgment.
And you dance with the universe.
That's right.
The universe brings it, and you say yes.
100%. And if you say yes and it doesn't work well, you're still okay with it because it was your yes.
Yes, exactly.
I feel very lucky.
You learn.
I feel lucky that all of us grew up when we did. And it was our parents were the greatest generation.
Yeah.
And they taught us, and that made us better.
They lived through it. Your
parents
parents
lived
lived
through
through
it.
absurd adversity.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Absurd
The
adversity.
depression. All of it.
But they didn't talk about it.
That's
they
exactly
just-
what I was going to say.
they didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
Family secrets.
You
Yeah.
like that?
The,
Yeah.
the family secrets are killing the relationship between us and the other generations.
Explain.
Because people didn't talk about the abortions that took
Yep.
place. They didn't talk about when Uncle Harry got
Drunk.
Judy
Yeah.
or
went away for a while.
Whatever.
Or went away from.
They don't talk about it, and they don't hear the stories.
And
And you believe I want to hear this through because this is interesting for me.
And I believe that bred that anger and
Of
that
course.
hostility.
Of course.
And it's like you hid that from me, and it's like, no, it just
yeah, they
was
didn't.
what happened, and we didn't talk about it. But if we take the opportunity to sit down and talk to them about these things, we didn't hurt you. I've got a grandson that's angry with me now. I can't fathom what he's angry about.
Yeah.